Hi everyone, my name is Garvit Harsh, and I'm a fourth year business student at the Ivey Business School at Western University. Well, Canada is a place with great quality of education, quality of life, and it welcomes immigrants as well. So, Canada was almost an easy choice when I was choosing a place to pursue my higher education. The level of education here is also much better than what I've been used to most of my life. Speaking of, immigrated to Canada from India just before my first year. And the style of education at Ivy, especially, is really different because we use something called a case-based learning method. So instead of just reading theory and stuff, we dive into real-life cases, business cases, and that really intrigued me about Ivy, and that's why I chose this place to study. Well, when I was going through this process, there were a lot of unknowns about some of the programs I wanted to apply to. So, the best piece of advice I can give here is to reach out to people studying at these universities, if you can, specifically in your program as well. A lot of times people hesitate reaching out to others because you may think it's you trying to waste their time or something, but from what I've known or from most of the people I've met, they'd be more than happy to help you out. So make sure you find people who study at these universities, maybe even at the same program, and try to talk to them and get answers for all the questions I'm sure you have. Canada has five major banks, and most of them are pretty similar in the level of service, I would say. Um, I bank with Scotia, but you can go for BMO, TD. To be honest, they're all the same. But here are the important things that I do suggest. First is, apart from getting a savings account, get a credit card. Even though you may feel you don't need a credit card, get a credit card and make most of your purchases using the credit card because that helps you build a credit score, which is going to help you out a lot if you decide to stay in Canada in the long run. So get a credit card and pay the bills on time. Second piece of advice is to file your taxes every year. So part of the tuition fee you pay is could be refunded to you at the end of your education through tax credits. So if you decide to stay in Canada and work, you would kind of get like a tax discount because of all the fees you pay. So you would put that on your taxes, even though you may not have any income while you're living in Canada, if you don't have a part-time job. But still, every year file your taxes and you would get some sort of refund on a yearly basis as well. Thirdly, get a SIN number. So SIN number is something you would require to apply to any part-time jobs or even full-time jobs after university. So you got to go to Service Canada, which you have in almost every city, and you can just hop in there with your passport and get a SIN number. Then something I delayed a lot, but I would suggest you do as early as possible is to get a driver's license. So even if you don't know how to drive, you don't have to, at least for the first level of driver's license, which is called a G1. It's just a quick computer test with just some road-based questions. So maybe after a few months after living in Canada, try to get a G1. I lived in Res and it was a phenomenal experience. I made most of my friends through Res, so I definitely biased, but would recommend spending your first year in residence if you can. In terms of getting involved, Western has various different kinds of ways you can get involved. So in terms of clubs, you have community service clubs. You have clubs related to your hobbies. So like listening to music, reading books, clubs related to sports. You can definitely join sports teams as well. And then there's also clubs related to your major, like science, business, etc. Well, first year was a big adjustment. Of course, as you can imagine, you spend a lot of time with your friends, you spend a lot of time studying. But if there was one piece of advice I would give to myself, it would be to take better care of myself. So what does that look like for me? Exercising more, eating healthier, meditating if you can, things like those. And that would really help you balance or juggle all the other things on your schedule if you just maybe give 30 minutes to an hour solely dedicated to self-care. It's different for everyone else, but do stuff like exercising, meditating, etc., or just get a hobby as well. I recently got into playing guitar, so that's like a good getaway from work life for me.